Oh man, that girl is really. I mean, she's really hot. I'm gonna go talk to her. I am. I just, I gotta wait for the right moment. I mean, she's probably bitchy. The hot ones are always bitchy. She's probably gonna have an attitude and stuff, or she's gonna tell me to fuck off, and I'm gonna be upset. Like I gotta be totally cool with it. Like I'm not afraid. I'm just saying that's probably gonna happen. And I don't know. Probably has a boyfriend anyway. It's not gonna be. It's Monday. Like no one's in a good mood on Monday. You got to go to work, and everyone's always grumpy and stuff. Especially girls on Monday. You don't want to. And it's a bit loud. It's a bit loud out here. It's a bit windy. Like if she's talking and just the wind is too loud, I'm not going to be able to hear what she's saying anyway. And it's going to be awkward. It's probably not going to go well.
My hemorrhoids are playing up. Our blood types probably don't match very well, and I mean, she's obviously a racist.
Yeah. Next one though, I'll definitely get the next one.
Yeah, I'll do the next one too.
Yeah, the next one for sure. Yeah.
Boom! What's up, guys? So I did this poll recently in my little group here on Facebook, the evil Facebook. And what happened was I just basically had this amazing conversation recording a podcast with my old wing, Matt. And that's going up on the Sasha Dagan podcast. Link will be below. And it was a really interesting conversation, sort of balancing the line between like men being weird when approaching versus catcalling versus women thinking like this is sexual assault if a guy comes talk to me. So it was a very interesting podcast. And it really just got me thinking about how a lot of the fears that we have as guys about talking to girls, they're not really like from us, and they're not our fault. Like we can certainly improve on ourselves in many ways, sure, but a lot of the reasons guys give for not approaching a beautiful girl, they come from society and beliefs outside of ourselves. And I just wanted to go through this little survey and talk about it a little bit, because I think a lot of guys are really blaming themselves. And I did videos about this before, but like, don't ever blame yourself. Like, unless you're going out there maliciously and trying to do horrible things to people, you have nothing to blame yourself for. Everybody is damaged, and men do not have any of the information given to us about, seduction or how to flirt or even act like men or do anything. So don't be so hard on yourself, okay? But let's go through this survey. This is interesting. So the question, by the way, was, have you ever felt uncomfortable letting a girl know that you're attracted to her and that you're interested? Right? Very simple. So, because I'm worried surrounding strangers will judge me. So, again, at the very, very core, the main thing that's bothering us men is what other people will think. And a lot of that comes from society in a huge way. That's society. That is that whole paradigm of like, you need to be successful, you need to be a winner, you need to make lots of money, you need to be awesome, and then if you do all these things in life, blah, 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 then you're successful. But if you get rejected, if people don't like you, blah, 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 you're a loser. And so it comes from society and sometimes from our parents as well, because they're stopping us if we're in public and we do something that's, they're don't do that, stop doing that, we're in public, behave yourself, you're a bad boy. So they shame us as well, and so that we don't want to take any chances and do anything that'll stop them, from giving us love, which is what it is, right? When they criticize us, that's us not getting love. So we don't want to be cut off, and therefore we change our behavior. And we stop doing what we naturally want to do when it comes to self-expression, right? So that one there is not like, it's not your fault, okay? That's pretty much outside circumstances. It's your fault if you don't do something about it. Okay, next one with 35 votes was because I don't or didn't want to feel the pain of being rejected. So that's a normal human thing. Like, nobody wants to feel rejection. Obviously, that's simple. But interestingly, if we were really taught the things we were supposed to be taught in society, like, hey, you know what, you're going to fail. You can do your best, always your best, but you will have failures, you will have rejections. It's part of life. You take that pain, you get over it. You'll fall in love with women. Some women will break up with you, or you'll have heartbreak, whatever. You got to suck it up, and you'll get over it. And you move on, and you get better with life. That's how it works. Nobody really gives us this stuff. Like, did you ever hear this kind of talk from your teachers at school or from your parents? Some of you lucky kids, maybe you did. All right, most of us, I think, didn't. I certainly didn't get any of that. Okay, so this is, again, we haven't been given any useful information from society, and then we feel like we're losers if we get rejected or fail in life. And so, again, that's outside stuff. So, again, that's something you can work on. I feel like I'm not worthy of the girl or intimacy in general. So that's basically having sexual shame, being afraid of your expressing yourself sexually, and also just not feeling worthy. And those are almost two separate categories. We're not given anything healthy about sexuality whatsoever. And now more and more we're trying to be told that it's bad. If you're sexual anyway, it's bad. Even though they use sex to sell everything, if you're sexual, you're bad. But you can buy things and buy porn and watch sexy stuff on TV. That's fine. But if you yourself are sexually risky in any way, no, shame on you. Especially if you're a man, you're a predator, not a you. So that's completely hypocritical. And most guys, again, most humans, like men and women together, we're not taught about loving ourselves or respecting ourselves and being good to ourselves at all. We're given all the reasons why we shouldn't love ourselves, but very few reasons that we should. So it's not really a shame. It's not a surprise at all that we have all this shame, and that we don't feel worthy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no surprise at all. Yeah, one of the cornerstones of mainstream Matrix civilization is nobody feels worthy for anything, not for a happy relationship or money or a great job. Nobody feels worthy. Everyone feels like they're not enough. And therefore, they're very easily controlled because it's like, well, buy this or spend money here or just, we'll give you the solution to feel better. These drugs, this booze, this whatever, take this pill, and you'll feel better. And so, of course, that's the way of the Matrix controlling all of us, right? He's going to control you. That's what it's there for. So it's not really a shocker, you know what I mean? That people don't feel good. Of course, we don't feel good about ourselves. And again, most of us got how much love from our parents? Some people did. I didn't get any, so it was no shocker for me. Okay, so I've already pretty much covered sexual shame. And the next one, it drops off a little bit. So because I didn't want to embarrass myself, so again, worrying about what other people are thinking, it's pretty much the same as the first one. Lack of confidence, again, we're not really taught that that just because we're human beings and that we're good and that we're divine creatures, that we should just love ourselves and we deserve happiness. We're not really taught that. So yeah, no shit, we're not confident. Of course not. Girls aren't confident because they're looking at all these ads of girls looking perfect, and guys aren't confident either because we're seeing the same shit and being told we need to make money and be successful and go and have degrees and all this kind of stuff. It's what a load of crap. Because I can't handle the pressure to live up to her expectations of me. Okay, so that's interesting. So you once again, that's just lack of self-love, lack of confidence. You know what I mean? You're putting too much pressure on yourself. You feel like you have to be here, and you think you're here. So that's basically low self-esteem. So again, comes from society, comes from the parents, all the shame stuff. Wonderful. Because I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. So again, yes, it's the same thing, right? Whether she's judging you or other people are judging you, fear of being judged, fear of rejection, fear of not being loved. It's all really the same thing. And then somebody added this one in, one individual, just for comedy, because I might knock her up and then ask her to get an abortion, making her life worse off because of me. Well, don't knock her up then, if that's your main fear. I don't know if he's being a joke. I mean, he might be just being funny. I think it's pretty funny. But yes, be careful. So, what's my point? My point is, guys, don't be super hard on yourselves. Recognize that all the pain and damage and stuff that comes from, from our parents, they're not doing it on purpose. They're just damaged and fucked up themselves, and they don't know what they're doing. Nobody does, really, unless you have enlightened parents. And then society, it is created in a way to keep us down. That's really what it is. And I think anyone who thinks at this point that it's just incompetence and people just don't know what's going on, you're very naive, and you will wake up eventually, just not yet. So it is happening on purpose. So when you realize this, take it easy, man. We're all in some sort of control, matrix, whether it's fucking religion or government or just society's beliefs, what your parents pass on to. We all have fucked up beliefs about the world and how things are and about ourselves. And so you really need to start looking at like what is causing this? What's really behind all these fears? What's really going on? What's the real reason you don't want to go talk to some woman? Okay, and then when you start digging, that's where that's where the real answers come, where you can have really profound change. Anyway, do check out that podcast I did. It's really an amazing podcast about this topic, and check it out. The link will be below. Please like this video and share it if you want other people to get some social love. Thanks, guys. Love you, and see you later. Peace.